Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Trüberbrook, grabbing the You Remind Me Today of a Small Chihuahua achievement. This is to find all of the Dictaphone entries. The Dictaphone entries are going to be the game's main type of collectible. There are going to be a total of 35. We will be just including the missable ones in this video since the rest are going to be given to you in the story via cutscenes. Starting out in Chapter 1, we're going to be up here trying to fix the cable car. Make sure you click on the left side of the screen, hit the Y button to inspect the mountainous background, hit the A button, and then that should open up your inventory. Hit it again on the little red recorder button, and that should record an entry. And your first one is going to be the mountains in the background right here. Then your second one is going to be the woman you meet along the story. She's going to be right here trying to fix the little generator thing. After you get her entry, make sure you look up. You should notice the little cable for the cable car right here. Make sure you make a recording on that. So just highlight it, hit the A button, A again to record, and that should be the third one of the area. Once you get that one out of the way, we're going to move to the right. You should notice this snapped electrical cable in the background. Make sure you inspect it and then hit A to make another recording, and that should be another one out of the way. And then finally, once we get that one in the bag, we are going to get the last one in this starting area, which is going to be to the right. It's going to be this yellow phone booth right here. So go to it, A button, and then A again to record it. This should also be our 10th one in total if you include all of the cutscene related ones. So we should be good for our first progression achievements at this point, which is to get 10 recordings. So once you finish this one, you should pop your first achievement. This one's called Beverly for 10 gamer score. Right after that, we are going to leave, so head down the stairs. This is going to take us back down into town. We should be out here in the town square. What you want to do is you want to make sure you take a recording of the sign right above you. This is going to be the movie theater sign, basically. After that, we are going to head inside the inn and then tackle what we need to do in there to progress the story. So pretty much take care of that, which is going to end up with you talking to the little girl watching TV. After you are done talking to her and have convinced her to show you the secret location, make sure you take a recording of her, and then that's going to be one more. After that, what we need to do is we need to make sure we go to the buffet table right behind us, and this one's going to be a little tricky because there's actually two recordings here, and it's very specific to where you highlight, so make sure you be a little careful and get both of them and not get any duplicates. So you have the table itself as well as a specific plate on the table, which is going to be this kind of darker thing in the middle. So make sure you highlight all of the food first to get the first entry, and then right after you wrap that one up, you want to go for the more specific plate. So try to finagle the cursor around until you highlight just this plate, and then take that recording, and you should be good for everything on the downstairs area. Once you wrapped up down here, make sure you head upstairs, and then this should take you back into your bedroom. Once you are up here, make sure you look underneath the little desk right here. There should be a mouse hole. Hit the Y button to observe it, and then hit the A button to record it. It will be labeled as a supplemental, which won't add to your Dictaphone recording count. However, this one does count towards the achievement, so just be safe and make sure you take the recording anyways. Once you have that, it is time to leave once you have gotten all of the items you need out of the hotel. Head outside, and then you want to turn around, and then you want to make sure you get a recording of the actual hotel sign. So make sure you get that. This should be the 15 mark, so we should get our second number-related achievement right here for hitting 15 Dictaphone recordings. And that one is going to be called Wrapped in Plastic, 15 gamer score. And once that finishes popping, it's time to continue our quest. So continue left until you head to the next screen. We are basically trying to chase a fox down in order to catch it for the Baron. That's going to lead us to the front of the lake right here. Which one you want to look up in this tree? You should notice the fox right here. Quickly click on it and then make a recording before anything else. This is going to be the first time in the game where you have multiple items in your inventory in your use command. So in order to switch over to the Dictaphone record button, you want to hit right on the D-pad, and that should switch over. And that's how switching items works in case you didn't know the controls. So once you figure out how to get the fox down, what you want to do is you want to continue to chase it. It's going to run back towards town square, so make sure you keep following it. Once you return to town square, the fox is going to hide in the shadows right here. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you use the can opener and then throw that at the suit of armor. It should crumble, and then what you want to do is you want to make a recording of it before interacting with it in order to pick it up. So right after that one, you are going to do a ton of puzzle solving stuff, and basically it's going to end up with you chasing the fox and then knocking it out using the electricity, and that's going to lead you back to the cable car area. Once the fox is knocked out, you can get an additional entry right here, which is this little hexagon in the background above the phone booth. So make sure you highlight it and then make a recording on this one before picking up the fox. So after picking that one up, there's going to be a pretty big gap in terms of missable dictaphones, so there's going to be none for the rest of Chapter 1 or the entirety of Chapter 2. You should get a story-related one at the beginning of Chapter 3, which should give you the achievement for picking up 20 of them, and then we can start picking up missable ones again right after that. So, start of Chapter 3, what you want to do is you want to make sure you inspect this campfire right here to the right of the mineshaft opening, and then that should allow you to take a recording on the tent. So highlight the tent and then use your recorder on that. Make your way through the mine, and once you get to the vault door, make sure you make a recording on the actual door before doing the puzzle to open it. Once inside, you should be in the planetarium. Once you figure out how to get the lights on, make sure you go over to this planetary model and then make a recording of it. And that's actually going to wrap it up for missable ones in Chapter 3, so make sure you play through the rest of the chapter. All of the other ones are going to be story-based, and then once we start up Chapter 4, we are going to keep playing until we pick up the raffle ticket in front of the lake. Once you grab this one, what you want to do is you want to make sure you look up at the tree. You are supposed to use the whistle on it that you got from the innkeeper towards the start of the chapter. The birds are going to come flying in, and once they make their landing, make sure you whip out your recorder and then make a recording of the tree with the birds. This recording is going to mark the 25th one, so we should be good for another achievement right here. This one is going to be called the Lonesome Foghorn Blows. That's going to be for 25 gamer score. And that should leave us with just 10 left for the achievement. So right after picking that one up, we are going to continue on with the story. You are going to get into a little raffle trade, and eventually that's going to take you back to the cable car area to trade some stuff with the hiker lady. What you want to do is you want to make sure you re-record the hexagon as well as the phone booth. Since we are in a different chapter now, they will actually count as separate entries, so you want to make sure you get them again. So grab the hexagon up here, and then make sure you grab the phone booth. You should also get different commentaries for both of them since your character has now learned the significance of both. So make sure you get those two before you continue your item trading. So that is eventually going to lead us at this point in the story when we need to fix the paddle boat. We are going to head over to the left in order to chase a squirrel into this tree. You should notice some trash below the tree. Make sure you highlight it and then make a recording on this. Then it's going to be back to the story for a little while until the point where you actually have repaired the paddle boat. Once you've done that, you can actually ride it across the lake, and that should take you to a new area called the swamp. Once you are there, there's going to be a few more entries to make. So your first trip here, you have these dinosaur bones in the background. Make sure you make a recording of these, and this should be the 30 mark, so we should get our penultimate milestone achievement for picking up X amount of recordings. And this one is going to be called Every Day, Once a Day, Give Yourself a Gift. That one's going to be for 30 gamer score. And then also here in the swamp, you have this dead body right here. Make sure before you interact with it, you make a recording of this. This dead body is also going to give us a few quest-related items, including the pair of boots as well as the cellar key. So make sure you make the recording before you loot the dead body, and then we can go back to the story. Eventually, we are going to have to return to the swamp after combining the boots with 2 trash can lids. Once you have these two, you can actually wade across the water right here to this small island. You need to do this in order to pick up the mushrooms, which is an ingredient for the alcohol that you have to make towards the end of the first half of Chapter 4. So make sure you make a recording of the mushrooms before you actually pick them up. This one's highly missable since you can't come back to the island after you picked up the mushrooms. So make sure you get this one out of the way when you can. Then some more story stuff is going to happen. You're going to basically put the alcohol together and then have the concert at the fair. After that, we are going to get access to the weather station, so make sure you head up there when it's available to you. And once you're up here, you can get the last entry, which is going to be the actual weather station building. So highlight it and then make a recording. This should be number 35. So once you finish this one up, you should be good for your achievement. So there it is. This one's going to be for 50 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.